Well, greetings and hello there, everyone. It is I, your beloved Star Wars Dad, Nooch Too Good, and we are 11, that is 10 plus 1 weeks into our perfect free-to-play farming in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes here in 2025. And I still get a lot of questions every time I publish one of these videos, or even, I get random questions on random videos. It's really interesting to me, random comments, like I publish a video about assault battle, specific assault battle, and somebody says, hey, I'm farming Grandmaster Yoda over here. What should I do about that? And it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, we're on different pages here. But I'm getting a lot of great questions, a lot of good questions from you newer players, even from some of you guys have been around for a little while, about why I'm farming what I'm doing. So today we're going to spend a little bit of time. We're going to break down every single farm I'm doing on my roster, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing that farm, and my thoughts behind the entire farming process for every character that I'm currently farming, and or every character I have already gotten to 7 stars and gotten to kind of where they need to be. Nobody is where they need to be gear-wise, but I do have a lot of players, or a lot of characters already maxed out at 7 stars. So let's start right here, but when we talk about it, we are farming the Nooch 2 Perfect farming guide. So this is the opening salvo of that farming guide, and we take a closer look at it. I'm actually currently farming the top half of this, and we'll in the future, I think I got a better way to break this down into phases and stuff like that, but we'll discuss that later. So we're farming the top half, the Imperial Troopers. You can see Gar Saxon and Imperial Super Commando mixed in there. Over there we got the Phoenix. Up here we've got the Jedi, specifically Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan, and then a Qui-Gon Jinn with his Omicron for Grand Reina, and a couple other easy Anakin and Ahsoka, easiest to farm Jedi. Right here we got Wampa and Savage, currently under debate as to whether we should be applying Omicrons to them and also to Qui-Gon Jinn up there before we apply an Omicron to Padawan Obi-Wan for Conquest. It's in my mind, I'm not sure where to go with it. And over there we got the Geonosians. These are our primary farms right now in phase 1 of our game before we move into phase 2 here at the beginning stages. So that's the overall, picture of where we're farming. Let's jump into more specifics here on the roster. And I'm just gonna make a side note for I have to say it. I have to say all this stuff. I got to get on the table. I recorded this video last night for like 20 minutes. Had a little bit of extra color and flavor in there because it was during my reset, so I did like a web store refresh. Always, guys, always log into the web store every day and get the stuff that's in there. It'll be a huge benefit for your account. But anyway, my electricity popped off 20 minutes into it, and when I lose my electricity in the middle of a recording, it's all gone. It corrupts. You can't get it back. So I went to bed. It was late already. I was literally starting 2 or 3 hours later than I normally start, just because we were just up late. My wife, I know what it was. We binged the last 4 episodes of Ted Lasso. The show kind of started off really hot, and then the middle kind of slowed down. Season 3 had some weird, I hate TV or movies where they get in these conversations, and the conversation was around, people publishing other people's, private lucid videos, which I think is horrible and stupid. You shouldn't do that. I think there's also a debate to be had about recording that stuff. I think both sides can have a debate. The worst part of it is you should not be publishing somebody's private information by law. Anyway, there was a whole episode where they just spent the whole time discussing that, and I'm like, this is stupid. I want content. I want actual plot. And anyway, but then toward the end, the last 4 episodes, really, really, really good. And I kind of feel like they should leave it at season 3, but it sounds like they're making a season 4, which I find hard to stomach. I don't know how they'll pull that off, but we'll see for Ted Lasso season 4 down the road. Anywho, I completely diverged there. So I was late recording this last night. Electricity went off. It was already like 12 o'clock. I went to bed, came up this morning. I'm a little late with the video this morning. La-di freaking da. Welcome aboard. Okay, some of the extra little tidbits you get here at Nooch Too Good Studios. What am I farming? Captain Rex. Let's start. I'm just going to start at the top, and we're going to work our way down to right about here at Poggle. Poggle is kind of the line where all of this just cuts off, where we stop. We are not really farming, and yeah, regret some shards have been gotten along the way, except for right in here. I am farming these 3 guys: Cad Bane, Han Solo, and young Han Solo. We'll discuss that in a minute, and that's it. The rest of the stuff has just come from either marquees or shards I got from other stuff in the game. So bronziums and whatever else. So Captain Rex, I actually believe Captain Rex is probably the most important early game character in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. He is a character that transforms the Phoenix team, and you are given shards for the Phoenix team all the way through the beginning of the game. And I wanted to get Captain Rex to 5 stars as fast as possible. He's now at 7 stars, but in order to get him to 5 stars as fast as possible, I actually did the energy refresh, the 25 crystal refresh on this node probably about a dozen times to get him to the 5-star level, and then I kind of slowed down, just did normal, because the minute that he got to 5 stars, I was able to take my Phoenix in to these mod challenges and finish all of these. And these mod challenges, you get 40 crystals, 20 crystals, and 10 crystals for every single one of them. There's 7 mod challenges, right? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8 of them. Times 70, 560 crystals for getting my Captain Rex too. So I more than recovered a dozen crystals there, right? So to me, it was really important to get him up and running and transform that Phoenix team because he is a transformative character. He may be the most transformative character, the guy that lifts another team. Darth Bane just lifts himself. The guy that took a complete trash team in Phoenix and lifted it up to, it's still an end game team. People are still using it in the end game today. So there you go. Captain Rex, I've got him at 7 stars. Another note that I'll make as we go through the roster and I talk about everything I'm farming and how and why I'm farming it, I am leaving him right now at gear 10 for a couple of reasons. One is he needs Kyrotech, and my first relic characters in the roster are going to be Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Master Qui-Gon. We'll see them briefly and momentarily. And I can't spend Kyrotech. If I'm going to get those guys to Relic first, I don't have enough Kyrotech to even do those 2 guys. So save your Kyrotech. When you have a character that needs these, before they get to gear level 11 or gear level 12 and going into Relic, you got to pick and choose your spots. These are any new characters from Darth Revan upward. They're going to have some of these required along the way. So whenever you choose from those, and you can take a look at SWGOH.gg. Oh, let's just do it right here. Let me pull it up. I didn't think I was going to do this, but let's pull up SWGOH.gg. Let me go over to different scene here, since we're being educational today. So I didn't want to go to the random picker wheel. SWGOH.gg. All right, we go into here, we go to units, and let's say we want to take a look at, let's say we look Admiral Piet. So does Admiral Piet require any Kyrotechs to farm? Go right here to his gear list, and the answer is yup. Let me zoom in here a little bit. 250 of these marks of the light side, and 150 of the dark side. 400 is a pretty common count of Kyrotech for characters. So yes, Admiral Piet requires Kyrotech. Be a little bit more careful about how you farm Admiral Piet. Now, those of us who've been playing the game since the beginning, we know mostly the characters that came before Darth Revan and the characters that came after Darth Revan. So let's say you want to take a look at Anakin, Jedi Knight Anakin. Well, does he require a bunch of Kyrotech? We go to his gear list right here, and the answer is no. Anakin only needs 100 of the light side Kyrotech, so I can be a little more aggressive about pursuing Anakin up to gear 12. Because I don't have to spend the Kyrotech, and the Kyrotech are the biggest farming obstacle for you out of anything. Another big obstacle, though, cuffs are a big one. These holoprojectors are a big one. Carbantes, not a lot on Anakin, but a lot of Carbantes throughout the game. And then stun guns, you got to be aware of those as well. So be aware of that gear in the game as well. Let's get back over to a little bit of a sidebar there. So I am holding off on Captain Rex for a couple of reasons. One is I got to get the Poncho Bros to Relics first for their assault battle. 2 is we are doing assault battle testing. I'll be doing it today, actually, on the Phoenix in Military Might Assault Battle, which is clones or rebels. And I'm going to take my Phoenix in there, and I want to keep them at lower gear levels. You can see here, if we look at my Phoenix, they're all in purple gear levels. We got gear level, what is he at, 9? Yeah, 10, sorry. 10, 9, 10, 10, 9. I'm going to keep them like that so we can min-max those assault battles and see what's going on with Military Might and Secrets and Shadows. We just did Secrets and Shadows earlier this week. Check out the stream. It's really educational. All right, so that's Captain Rex. Bosk, we are farming Bosk every day. He is on a regular node. It takes some time. Since he's a 9B, you unlock him toward the end, and it takes a little bit longer to get him farming. And then we click on the Houndstooth, and we farm the Houndstooth every day. A little trick that I've done here with 3 of the ships We'll pop down the list a little bit here. The Houndstooth is here on Jango Fett's node, so I have Jango Fett saved in my list of characters because if I ever want to not go the route I just did by on Bosk's set and going down, or Bosk's screen and going down, I just go to Jango Fett and farm it. Eighth Brother. Why am I farming Eighth Brother? I'm not. I'm farming the IG-2000. It's on the same node as Eighth Brother, so every day I come in here and I farm this node. We'll go ahead and do it right now. And I get my IG-2000 shards because I need IG-2000 for the Executor. If you go look at the Executor journey, you'll see it required there. Same thing, Droideka. I'm actually not farming Droideka right now. I am farming the Xanadu Blood. Xanadu Blood, not officially required for the Executor, but yeah, it's required for Executor. If you're going to farm the Executor, you've got to farm the Xanadu Blood. The fleet does not work without Xanadu Blood in there. Let's take a look at one more ship here that I'm actually struggling with a little bit. Because I can't yet. 11 weeks in, I cannot get through 4E with my fleet. When I show you my fleet that I've got here, I don't want to buy the energy. Let's go to Fleet Arena, maybe. Did I already play this too? Okay. So my fleet that I'm working with is my Geo ships, which are some of the easiest to farm in the game. And then I've got the Houndstooth here at 4 stars, Slave 1 at 5 stars, and my TIE Bomber. Now, I will say this. I've got Bosk at gear 11. I could add a Zeta to Bosk. I'm holding off. I think part of my struggle is I could upgrade these characters. So I could upgrade these Geos. Yeah, I can't upgrade him, can I? Maybe I can't. Let's see here. Geo Spy. Yeah, I can upgrade Geo Spy to at least gear 10, maybe gear 11. Again, guys, I'm doing a lot of conserving of resources, resource conservation. First of all, I think everybody should engage in that, especially if you are free to play. Hoard your resources until you 100% need them, right? For me, I'm also hoarding resources, again, because we do a lot of min-max challenges, assault battle challenges, and as we go in there and min-max, we need to add gear to our characters, so a lot of my farming is also geared around. So basically, I cannot get through 4D of these nodes with my current fleet. I got to get some upgrades on characters or ships. So a lot of my farming is based on holding back a little bit so that we can go in and min-max these assault battles and actually see where the assault battles require these characters to be for gear levels. And I got big dreams for the Forest Moon assault battle, which we'll get into here in a moment. Okay, that's Bosk. Sabine Wren, also on a regular node. I've got her to 7 stars. I don't recall refreshing this node. You do get some extra shards of Sabine Wren from quests that you may not get for Captain Rex. And I've got her to 7 stars. Again, sitting there at... Oh, there's Rebel Roundup right there. Wait, oh, that's where you can earn shards. I'm like, she doesn't plan that. So we'll be testing out the Imperial Troopers on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's Wednesday. So Wednesday will be Imperial Trooper testing in Rebel Roundup, and that's where we get to next with Admiral Piet. So I farmed Admiral Piet. He still is only 6 stars. I got to get him to 7 stars, so yeah, we won't really be ready for that Rebel Roundup yet, will we? So we got him at 6 stars. We're farming Admiral Piet. Next month will be I think in August we'll be able to have, let me think about this. 4 shards a day. Did I farm him already? I did, yeah. 4 shards a day into 92 shards is like 25 days. I don't know, I might not be, if they launch Forest Moon early in the month, I might not be ready for that with Admiral Piet and also with Imperial Super Commandos. So it's just taking us a little bit of time to farm that Admiral Piet up to 7 stars. Would I consider refreshing this node? Maybe, but without Imperial Super Commando in there, that's a little dicey. So we'll talk about that briefly here. Okay. I might get some shards today, though, actually. All right, so next, Padawan, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon. I already talked about these guys. This is the first assault battle that I'm farming. These guys are a Cantina farm. With Cantina farms, you can go a lot faster through those farms. You know, your regular energy farms, and I should say this. Your regular energy... I don't know if I got a farm available for that right now. Hold on, I did all this stuff down here. Who's regular energy? Anakin, I think I grabbed him too. I've actually done all my regular energy farming for the day. So, regular energy, that's this gold energy up here. This should be refreshed 3 times every single day. The other energy, maybe, maybe not. If you're free to play, it's kind of, you got to consider whether you should refresh all the rest of the energy every day. Again, I'm going to get to that here briefly. So, The Poncho Bros, Padawan, Obi-Wan, and Master Qui-Gon. They have an Assault Battle, the Duel of the Fates Assault Battle. They're easily farmed to 7 stars with Canteen Energy because I'm not limited to 5 farms a day. I can farm this 20 times a day. If I refresh, I can farm it 30 times a day. I can farm this multiple times a day. You get to these characters faster. So I have them both at 7 stars. The min-maxing on these guys is the third tier of the Duel of Fates Assault Battle is a challenge with them, I think at 7 stars, going after to get it done, and usually around gear 8 or gear 9 is what is needed for that, and that gets you mods. So we're leaving them down at gear 7 for both of them to test out that assault battle on Padawan, Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon. Once we get through that tier, these guys are going to be our first relics. I need a mod there, huh? I'll do it later. These guys will be our first 2 relics in the account because their assault battle requires Relic 5 and Relic 7 for the next 2 tiers. Those next 2 tiers are the 5th and 6th or 4th and 5th tiers of Duel of the Fates Assault Battle. The gear in there is relic gear. It's all sorts of great stuff that'll feed your roster. We've gone through a lot of other videos. I don't have it in front of me, but these 2 are my first 2 relics for the Duel of the Fates Assault Battle. That's why we're doing that. General Veers, normal energy, got him to 7 stars. You also get his shards through, you can see Military Might, but you can pull shards through Bronziums. There's a lot of sources for General Veers shards. Snowtrooper, 7 stars. We farm this entirely with Mark 1 currency, and when you pull Bronziums, you'll get Snowtrooper shards a lot of times. So, Mark 1 currency, Bronziums, and then with the Military Might Assault Battle. Have I done tiers of this? I've actually done 2 tiers of it already. So, we're going to do this on stream, so I'm not going to deal with it right now. So, you can get it through a few different sources. When you're farming with this Mark 1 currency, never, ever, ever farm with anything else. Don't use your Galactic War currency. Don't use it. Never, ever, ever anything else. Just the Mark 1 raid currency. And Snowtrooper will be we'll see how I do it. He's a pretty easy gear. Darth Locator kind of pulled that out of the woods a long time ago. And we're going to see how he performs as opposed to Dark Trooper on my Imperial Troopers. When I brought up I was using him instead of Dark Trooper, a lot of people balked at that. But Dark Trooper requires 400 Kyrotex. This guy does not. He's also a much easier farm. Dark Trooper is farmable on a regular energy node. I got Snowtrooper done much easier than Dark Trooper. That's why I farmed him. Ditto for Colonel Stark. Everything I just said about Snowtrooper applies to Colonel Stark. We got to upgrade these abilities. He's not going to work without him. We'll hold off on the Omegas for now. But yeah, he's not going to work in the assault battles without having these abilities upgraded. So we might as well go ahead and spend it on him because we're going to do it anyway. And we'll look at the Omegas later. This is actually a Zeta here. Not planning on the Zeta. All right, who's after Colonel Stark? We got Range Trooper. Again, a regular energy farm. Still working to get him to 7 stars, which is why we will not be ready to max out Rebel Roundup in 3 days and 18 hours. Dengar. Mark 1 energy farm. Done. You need him for Executor. He's part of my bounty hunter team. Done and done. Anakin, you saw before, regular energy farm. I'm getting him to 7 stars because he is in part of that Jedi team that we looked at up there. We can zoom in a little bit. That Jedi team we've got right here. Anakin's in there with Qui-Gon, the original Qui-Gon with this Omicron, and is great and ingrained around all the way endgame, all the way to the end game with that Omicron. And then the Poncho Bros are in there with him. You have to have Galactic Republic Jedi for the whole team to work right. Anakin and Ahsoka, those are pretty easy farms. That's why we're farming Anakin every day with regular energy. Plus his ship goes pretty well with a Galactic Republic fleet, which is with Endurance early and Negotiator later on. Gar Saxon, another Cantina farm. Very easy to get him up. Don't farm him over here if you can farm him in Cantina. Cantina is way better than spending that Get 1 currency. Gar Saxon and Imperial Super Commando, you'll see in a moment, are part of the Forest Moon Min-Max. We've already done it on our channel. I mentioned it earlier. These guys help you min, and I'm gonna push that to its extreme. We're gonna be leaving Gar Saxon at this gear level, at this star level, at this level. Level 1, 7 stars. Gear 1, I'm going to leave him at that for the Ewok Forest Moon Assault Battle and see what we can get done. That's going to be a lot of fun. And Imperial Super Commando, similar story, not quite the same. We've got him at level 85. We've got him at 6 out of 7 stars. Imperial Super Commando is a regular energy farm. He is also farmable with that get one currency that we saw right now, Garstax, and this is kind of random. Characters pop in and out of this. This is not a great way to farm Garsaxon. It's also not a great way to farm Imperial Super Commando. I am farming him with that get one currency when he pops up about every other day or so. Reason being, I want to get to that Forest Moon Assault battle as quickly as possible, so I'm working on that on the roster. And, oh, by the way, so I had to take him to level 85. Actually, I need to take him to level 80. I've got to have this Omega activated. The first time Imperial Super Commando or Garsaxon would be defeated, they gain damage immunity for 2 turns instead. That is the most important thing, and the only thing, I'm going to try upgrading just that on these 2 characters. I don't know that that's going to get me through Challenge Tier 3, because I think their damage actually matters the deeper you get. But we're going to leave him at Gear 1. With no other upgrades other than that one, and see how that does for Forest Moon Assault Battle. That's going to be a lot of fun testing that out. Hey, look, some Geos. We are farming Geo Breed Alpha every day, and here's something that comes along where I talk about refreshing energy, and somebody asked me last week, how did I have 1,500 crystals, and now I have 1,000 crystals? Well, part of that was CG gave us 1,500 crystals because nobody could log into the game for like 3 days or whatever, or a week, or whatever it was. So they gave everybody 1,500 crystals. That has lasted me a while. Why has it lasted me a while? I'm not like super duper refreshing these Cantina nodes because these are 100 crystals. That's expensive. I'll go through that in a hurry, and I don't have really any crystal income right now other than like, I don't know, 40 a day or 30 a day from Grand Arena. So I don't really refresh these nodes a lot. Secondarily, I haven't been able to upgrade a lot of these characters to level 85 just because of a lack of credits here, which I spend on mods and this. And also, I'm not gearing up every team quite yet. I'm hoarding a lot of gear for my Geos right now. If you look at my Geos, dude, I've got the 3 geared up that have, well, sort of geared up, Gear 10, Gear 10, Gear 10. I could take them farther. I've got them geared up for their ships because those are the primary dark side ships I'm using. But Geo Breed Alpha and Paga the Lesser, kind of waiting for a little bit more time on that. I really want to get them on the roster. Will they help me in Grand Arena? Only against smaller rosters, which don't come up very often. So I'm holding off on the Geos right now for gear and leveling purposes. IG-88 is farmed in Squad Arena. When I have 400 of the Squad Arena currency, I grab IG-88. 3 more days, I should have him to 7 stars or 7-star eligible, and then I'll be done farming everything in Squad Arena. Then we'll start farming gear over there. Qui-Gon Jinn, we mentioned. Qui-Gon Jinn is in the Cantina Battle Store. When I get 400, and I have 400, I grab Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn, again, has this Omega, or this Omicron on his leadership ability that makes Jedi just complete ballers in Grand Arena, so we do farm him. Droideka, 8th Brother, Jango Fett, we already mentioned why and how we're farming them. And characters at 7 stars, we got Kanan at 7 stars, that was farmed in Squad Arena only. I did not mix in the Cantina node, that's just extra. If they're in Squad Arena, farm them only in Squad Arena. It's a very easy farm. Hera was farmed to 7 stars with regular energy, and I did supplement that with some Galactic War Store energy. Actually, I would say I probably did more of the Galactic War Store energy than regular because this is a better way to farm a character if accessible to you. Spy, we farmed in... Yeah, that's the only place he's available right now. That's unfortunate. I don't like that, Chan. Forgot about that. He used to be available in a Cantina node. Now he's only available when he pops up in Fleet Arena store. I'm not a fan of that, but what was I going to do about it? I have no options. I farmed him in the Fleet Arena store. We got him 7 stars. Chopper was a Cantina Energy farm, much like Qui-Gon. We farmed Sunfac on his Cantina... That's Geo Soldier. They all look, all the Geos look the same. I don't know what to tell you. Geo Soldier actually was, Battle 1A. Actually, he was the first Cantina farm I did because he's available immediately. Day 1, you get access to farming Geonosian Soldier on Node 1A of Cantina battles. He was my very first Cantina, and so 4 Cantina farms I got finished. Geo Soldier, Poncho Bros, and Garsaxon are my 4 Cantina farms that are all at 7 stars already. What's left? Darth Vader. You get Darth Vader now on day 3 through just achievements. It's kind of amazing. It didn't used to be that way. We're holding off for a little bit on that Empire team. I got other stuff I'm working on at the moment. Actually, my Phoenix are all 7 stars. We could do the Palpatine and Thrawn events now. I'll have to schedule that for later this week. They'll be very, very easy. Mace Windu, 7 stars. You get his shards through the events for the Endurance and also through... Wrong button. You get it through a Squad Arena Store. Right there is where you farm Mace Windu. If they're in Squad Arena Store, don't farm them anywhere else. That'd be a waste of time. Mando, I don't have him to 7 stars yet. We will take him to 7 stars to get that Bounty Hunter team complete at some point down the road. It'll also unlock Chewbacca for us. Only farm in the Galactic War Store when available. I'm going to show you that Galactic War Store when I'm farming here momentarily. Grief Karga, exactly the same as Mando. We will get him to fill out our Bounty Hunter team. Grief and Mando are much better characters on the Bounty Hunter team than Cad Bane and IG-88. We will go with Bosk, Boba Fett, Mando, Grief, and Dengar in that original team. Only in the Galactic War Store. Nobody else for Grief. Well, eventually I'll have to farm IG-11. Let's just get started now. I gotta farm IG-11. You have to farm Grief, Mando, Queel, IG-11, and Cara Dune in order to unlock Beskar Mando. We just did that event the other day, and you need Beskar Mando to activate the Razor Crest, which you need to unlock the Executor. So I will have to farm that node. I actually should start making that, we're gonna start doing that. And I'm gonna highlight those guys in a second, and all those guys need to farm in a second. And then finally, we get down to Hoth Rebel Scout, which I farmed for the Hoth Territory Battle. And then Poggle, who we grabbed in the Galactic War Store till we got him to 7 stars. We'll get him done briefly. And then the only other farms I'm doing are these 3 guys. Cad Bane, who is farmable with Galactic War currency, and only Galactic War currency. Han Solo, 60 out of 100, is farmable with Guild Store currency. You say I don't have enough right now. That's that Mark 1 farm. He's more expensive. You might get him in the Rancor raid, but your guild's probably gonna move on from the Rancor raid pretty quickly. That's how the game works now. So you grab him with this guild store currency. I'm farming Han Solo for Smuggler's Run. He is a smuggler. Chewbacca is a smuggler. So I'll be getting Chewbacca with my bounty hunters, and I'm farming Han Solo to get Smuggler's Run done every month because Smuggler's Run is a bunch of mods for me every month that I need to get. And young Han Solo, same story. He's a smuggler. He's available with Mark 1 currency, a little bit cheaper than regular Han Solo. So I'm farming him to 7 stars so I can get a smuggler team up and running so I can do Smuggler's Run and get myself a bunch of mod materials every single month. A couple more places to look. As far as ships and what we're farming over here, I start every day right here on this Imperial Super Commando node, and I farm that. I've already got it done. Again, I can't get past this node because, and why did I bring that up? I know I brought that up and I didn't say it, and I kind of pooped on that point. I need the Punishing One. So we need the Punishing One to be farmed, and it is in node 5F, and I can't open it up now, so I'm gonna be behind on the Punishing One farm. With that said, as soon as you have Punishing One activated, I think it's at 3 stars, it might be 4 stars. As soon as you have it activated and you've got Dengar geared up, you throw it onto that fleet in the starting lineup, and it makes a difference immediately, even at low star levels. So I'll farm it as soon as I can when I get these ships upgraded along the way. And then Razor Crest grabbing in the Fleet Arena store. Every time you see Razor Crest shards in Fleet Arena, and every time you see Grievous shards, grab them in the Fleet Arena store. So I start off every day. I do Imperial Super Commando, then I go to Tier 2, and I farm the Slave 1, which I can still do again. I'll do 1 refresh on fleets most days and grab the Slave 1, needed for Executor, part of that Bounty Hunter fleet. By the way, if you grab the Hyperdrive bundle, you got Slave 1, Xanadu Blood. I think that's it. You get those 2 at 5 stars. IG 2000? You get the idea. You get those 3 Bounty Hunter ships at 5 stars. Throw them in your starting lineup immediately and get them moving. They'll do great work for you early in the game. Then from there, I go to Sunfax ship. We're going to get that to 7 stars and max it out. It's working for us right now. It really doesn't want to be on our fleet. After that, I farm Lando. Lando is in the cargo run, or cargo... whatever, I can never remember what it's called. But Lando's Millennium Falcon is a cargo ship along with the Slave 1, along with the Houndstooth, which I'm farming for cargo. I feel like cargo run, but whatever. And if I have extra energy, I end up farming Anakin's Edit 2 Starfighter. That's all my ship farming in the game. That's everything that I'm farming and everything that I have farmed to get me through that top half of the farming path. And I'll be working on gearing those characters up for the assault battle ones with Phoenix. I'm going to gear them up to where they get me through Challenge Tier 1 of both Military Might and Secrets and Shadows. The Imperial Troopers, along with Garsak's Imperial Super Commando, are going to get me through Challenge Tier 2 and 3. Challenge Tier 2 of both Rebel Roundup and Forest Moon, and Challenge Tier 3 of Forest Moon, so we'll gear them up to where they need to be for that. And then we'll be moving on to some other farms, like getting our Geos up. And I don't know if I'm going to take these art teams to Gear 12 before I get Executor. We want to go hard in on Executor. We've got about, if you look at these shards, I think I said I had about 4 months. Maybe I said that last night. I got about 4 months. Let's see here. 185 plus 50 is 235 shards. I'm getting like 1.5 to 2 a day. I've got like 4 months of farming left to do for these bounty hunter ships to get them to 7 stars, unless I refresh along the way. If I feel like I'm getting all the characters relicked, like if I get Admiral Piet and TIE Fighter Pilot and Darth Vader and Dengar and IG-80, all the characters required, Boba Fett, all the characters required for Executor, if I'm getting them relicked quickly, and the ships are not 7 stars, then I'll start refreshing those ship nodes to get the ships farmed faster. But that's 3 months down the road. We'll see how it's going at that time. So that's it. We're getting all these characters farmed up. Everything like this on the roster, primarily for assault battles. Then it is heavy into the Executor farming. That's everything I'm farming right now. That's everywhere I'm farming it right now. So next time, and every why I'm farming it right now. Next time somebody asks me where, who, why, what, when, how I'm farming what I'm farming, you're going to get a reference to this video. And that's why I make these videos, because you guys ask the questions, and I can't keep answering the same question over and over and over again without losing my very precious sanity. That's all we got for today, boys and girls. I do hope you have a great day. I will talk to you very soon, and always remember, almost hit the end button there. Where are we? Nooch too good.